So Alex Clark is here. Tell us about this Atlantic article. I'm trying to find the title here.
Well, The Atlantic decided after seeing a nonpartisan roundtable discussion in the Senate about children's health and food and pharma corruption to write a hit piece.
And they called it the Woo Woo Caucus.
Proud member of the Woo Woo Caucus right here. Anybody else? We need stickers. We need shirts.
Blake is a huge Woo Woo fan, just for the record.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, we love Blake.
So the article is pretty nasty and labels you guys as right-wing extremists.
Of course, yeah. Caring about children's health, right-wing extremism. Working out, right-wing extremism. Drinking non-pasteurized milk, right-wing extremism. It's so interesting.
What is it about the idea of reaffirming your sovereignty with health that is such a threat to the corporate media and the Democrat Party of that I'm going to not be obese, I'm going to eat clean, I'm going to not have processed foods, I'm going to eat whole foods, I'm going to balance out my micros and macros, I'm going to go for a walk every day, get vitamin D, not take hormonal birth control. Why is that met with such hostility? Shouldn't that be met with my body, my choice?
Well, you would think so, but that only applies to killing babies. The truth is that the sicker we are, the more riddled with brain fog we are. We can't think, we can't move. They control us, and they know that. So they are terrified. And this Atlantic article really proves corporate capture here. They're getting a ton of money from the pharmaceutical industry, and so of course they're going to come out with an article slamming this nonpartisan panel advocating for children's health in this country. It's truly incredible. They said that we were trying to make Fruit Loops boring again because we showed the example. We had a bag of Fruit Loops from outside of America, and we showed Fruit Loops from America with artificial dyes. The other ones were colored with like fruit colorings and natural ways to have, color in your cereal versus the artificial ones that cause cancer and behavioral issues. And I guess we're making cereal boring. So be it. If that means saving children's lives, then I guess we'll make cereal boring. But it's like, who in the world would write a hit piece on that? Why would you complain about that? It's really disturbing. And, I don't know if the Atlantic hates children. I don't know. But I think that this article begs the question. If they do, they'll have to answer that.
And the Atlantic is owned by Laureen Pell Jobs, one of the top Democrat donors, worth $20 billion. But it's a theme.
And pharma companies.
Yes, it's a theme, Alex. The more popular you get, you're going to be receiving these attacks where anything that makes you healthier, the powerful people hate.
They also...
What is that all about?
Well, because that's the thing about controlling us. I mean, remember, it was not the conservative right who was the first people to start talking about health and raw milk and not relying on the government for these types of things. It was the crunchy granola liberals.
Yes, you're exactly right.
The original Whole Food shopper was a liberal, crunchy Democrat mom. It wasn't a conservative like you and I. So they're upset because finally we were like, oh, okay, this was actually one issue that you guys were right on. They were right. I'm fine with admitting that. But now that we finally came around and said that, now they don't want anything to do with us. It was also not conservatives that were anti-vax. It was celebrity liberals. It was people like Jim Carrey and oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her name.
The woman.
Yeah, the woman, the blonde girl. I'm blanking on her name. But they were the ones that were going around mainstream media, going on Larry King Live and stuff like that, and talking about the problems with the vaccination schedule exploding. And so it wasn't conservatives. It's amazing how the tables turn. And so if you're really paying attention, you have to say, even if you're like, I'm not comfortable saying I'm a conservative.
Jenny McCarthy, that's right. And Jim Carrey. Even if you're like, I'm not comfortable saying I'm a conservative, fine. But you're like, something isn't right. Yeah. And the whole movement that you guys are talking about is we want people to be happier and healthier, not fat, not overweight. We want your blood work to be better. Who could be against something like that unless you want a diseased and sick society? Which they do.
They fully outed themselves. I'm just convinced, especially with this Atlantic article, these people want your children dead. If they don't die in abortion, they want to die from vaccines, or they want them so unbelievably sick from the food and pharma that then they'll be able to just be a drone that they can control for the rest of their entire adult life and just make money off of them.
Yeah, and it really is that. I hope you guys understand that in order to control a society, they want you depressed and sad. If you were to eat healthy, if you eat unprocessed foods, if you eat meat, if you eat eggs, if you eat vegetables that are not process through this nonsense, you're going to be a better person.
So Max Lugavere sat next to me on the panel.
Genius Foods, great book.
Yes, and he's the podcast owner of The Genius Life, and he said a great quote. He said, if your grocery store has a health food section, what does that make the food in the rest of the store? The answer is it's not food.
Yeah, the Genius Foods are amazing, by the way. That's like salmon, blueberries, dark chocolate, the 12 Genius Foods that you guys should follow.